Yo, yo, what's up? It's the one and only HipHopGamer, Hot 97. You already know how it goes down, man. Now, check this out. I want to give big props to my boy David Jaffe, the whole team over there at Bartlett Jones. That studio is crazy. You know what I'm saying? They got big things coming out. Yo, that's my brother right there. David Jaffe, I love that dude. That's my boy for life, period. Love him, love his family. Yo, that's my guy right there. You know what I'm saying? Now, listen, you know, he recently posted a question because he didn't play the order himself, but he recently posed a question to, you know, some of the members of his team. You know what I'm saying? With the new game that they're working on, you know, Drawing to Death, he basically, you know, put out a question, basically saying, was the press too harsh on the order, or, you know, were they just doing their job and stuff like that? So I'm gonna run a few clips by you guys, you know, of this video and stuff like that. But before I get into all of that, you know, sometimes you gotta remind people on what the truth is, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to show you guys a few minutes of how me and David Jaffe bond. You know what I'm saying? That's like I said, that's my brother, love him to death. Shout out to Black Bible Game and Fit Nation, because this is actually his video, you know what I'm saying, that we did back at E3. But I just want to show you a few minutes of a clip just to so you can see how me and David Jaffe bond. And then I'm going to go in very deep, very in-depth on some of the things in terms of the answers that some of the people at the development studio had, you know, regarding the order and just looking at the industry as a whole. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. One love. Check it out.
Speaking of the devil. Oh, shit. Speaking of the devil, look who passes by.
What's up, man? We're just talking about
We was just talking about you.
I got married. This is Kevin. Sit down. Oh my God, congratulations. Oh, snap. She loves me. Now, she doesn't know it yet. She doesn't know it.
Take note how he just stole your seat, David Jaffe.
That's all right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
We was just...
That man worked so hard, he deserves to eat. Word up, you know what I'm saying? I performed the song yesterday.
Oh, good. Where?
Word up. It was at the Crocker Club. Shut up. I know you about to say something.
We're talking about racism. You went to a place called the Cracker Club?
No, it was the Crocker Club.
Yeah, the Cracker Club.
Crocker Club.
Well, good. Well, I love that song, and I was proud to have it on our game, so thank you for doing that.
It was an honor, yo. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me. Like, it was crazy.
Do the next one. Do the next game. Oh, I'll show it to you.
You know what? That's an exclusive for Game of Fit Nation.
Exclusive Game of Fit Nation. The next Twisted Metal game, or the next game, HipHopGamer.
You know what?
Call me in about a month, and I'll walk you through the whole thing. You'll love it, and then I want to but people watching now are gonna. You gotta fucking see it to know what I'm talking about. It's not like I'm gonna, no offense, but it's not like I'm gonna make Uncharted and suddenly what the fuck's HipHopGamer doing in Uncharted? It makes sense, you know. But we should talk. It'd be fun.
Yo, that'd be amazing. Like, we're making deals on GameOfFitNation.com. You see that?
That's what we do at Game of Fit Nation. We make your dreams come true.
All right. So now that y'all saw that brief little interaction and stuff like that, I just wanted you guys to understand that, you know, there's a bond that I have, not just with David Jaffe, but a ton of developers and a ton of people in the industry. So a lot of times when I say things and stuff like that, you know, it always comes from a good place, and it comes from a knowledgeable place. You know what I'm saying? I talk to a lot of people. I do a lot of things. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a ton of stuff that y'all don't even know that I've done, or whether it's stories that I broke or just relationships that I've built. So when I talk with the biggest piece of passion, love, sincerity. Just, I wanted to show that because you may be a newcomer to my channel. I just want you to know how real it gets when you rocking with the best. This is how it goes down. HipHopGamer, the one and only. You will never see nothing like this ever again. This is how serious it is, all right? So one love, God bless. Now let's get to these questions and how I respond to David Jaffe in terms of the questions that he posed to his team. I'm going to actually answer it myself. You know what I'm saying? So check it out real quick and you'll get my response.
Do you think the press has been too harsh with the game, the order, or do you think they're just doing their job?
Okay, so was the press too hard on the order? Yes, I really believe they were. And the reason why I feel the press was too hard on the order is because they look at everything as a job. Because in David Jaffe's question, he says, was the press too hard on the order, or were they just doing their job? And that's where I feel the problem lies. I feel that when you work, when anything that you do in life, if you look at it like a job and stuff like that, Now, don't get me wrong. You know, people got a job to do. You know what I'm saying? It is work. It is a job. So don't get it twisted. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But like so many people, they wake up in the morning and they devote so much time to a place they don't want to be at. You know what I'm saying? There's a ton of people that go to college to pursue their career, pursue their passion. But when they come out of college, they're not doing that passionate job that they was looking for, that career that they were striving for. You know, they could be working at McDonald's, or they working at some bank, or they doing what they actually don't want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, in majority cases, most people aren't happy doing what their job is because their job isn't the career path that they chose. And I feel that in the industry, a lot of these game reviews and looking at games for what they are, and also seeing the vision that the developers had for it and things like that, I feel that people are exactly jaded. I feel that they are worn out. They feel overworked and just overused. And, you know, it takes a lot to do this stuff. And I feel that if your passion ain't there no more, people get harsh on everything because you're just looking to complain because you're already miserable in what you do. So you don't really have the proper care or that proper nurturing or understanding, you know what I'm saying, of this particular job anymore. There's a lot of people that got video game jobs that don't even have a video game background. There's a lot of PR companies that do PR for games and they don't even game. You know what I'm saying? So if you lose that part of the industry, that passion that gives you the drive to want to review everything, want to play everything, want to do interviews, that drive that makes you want to do all these things, the moment you lose that, I don't look at that particular person as a valid source anymore to cover games. And I'll give you an example of something that I did that was wrong. Back in 2008, my very first review, shout out to Torrance Davis, was of a game called Cul-de-Sac Saga. Now, Cul-de-Sac Saga, it was a card game. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like, you know, like your Yu-Gi-Ohs and your Hearthstones, and that I toy game that came out before. Not iToy, I think it was PlayStation I, but the Eye of Truth or something like that. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But the thing is, because I wasn't into those type of games, I looked at the game, I was like, the game is whack. I didn't even want to review it. My energy and passion towards that particular game was horrible. I did the worst, that was the worst review job ever. And it came from me. I messed up big time. And because I didn't have no passion to review this game, I didn't have no energy towards it, I wasn't interested in it, you know, it was a curveball that Torrance threw at me. But that was the best thing that happened to me. Because although I have a strong passion for games, I had a strong passion for certain games instead of just gaming as a whole. And I realized it when I did that review. Because the way I am now, after that one little review, from a business standpoint and just my energy, it helped me realize that, yo, like, whether I like a game or whether I like this style of game or not, I got to be able to look at it for what it is in the vision that's being sold and told to me. Because I could not like something, but just because I don't like it doesn't mean there's something wrong with it. And I had to understand and justify the two. You know what I'm saying? And when I learned that, it made me re-understand, it made me re-love the entire industry as a whole fairly, instead of just loving parts of the industry very strong. That moment made me love the entire bread and butter of what gaming is because of that moment. And I thank Torrance for that, man. That's my mentor. Love him to death. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother for real. So, yeah, so I really feel that the order was treated that way because I feel a lot of people are just tired and they're getting jaded and they don't really have respect for the craft anymore, respect for the culture or the art anymore. You know what I'm saying? I understand that concept. So yes, they was too harsh on it. And after playing this game, it's easily one of the best games I played, not just this year, but this particular generation easily. It's that phenomenal.
Matt Damon. No. So I think I have a bit of a deeper philosophical thing with this, like really high graphics versus how much effort people put on gameplay versus graphics. Like the graphics ability has gone through the roof, and it keeps going through the roof. How far we push gameplay in a lot of ways, I think might have is trending towards more formulaic, turn crank, get a production line, get a game out there, kind of thing. And I think this reviews of the order is kind of indicative of that trend. I think people it's at this.
But let's assume that's the case. Do you think the reviews are being irresponsible? It's like you can call a game out as a poster child for reflecting that negative trend, and maybe or maybe not the order is that. Mm-hmm. But does that mean it deserves like the 1 out of 5s and the 2 out of 10s? I mean, doesn't that seem extreme, or maybe not?
If their job are entertainers and people playing the game are not entertained, then yes.
Okay. So now I hear a lot of people talk about gameplay versus graphics. Now, a lot of people criticize the order because the graphics is so amazing that they feel that the gameplay wasn't there, but the graphics was. In my opinion, that's complete BS. What people don't understand is that gameplay and graphics, they go hand in hand. For example, if you look at a game like Gears of War, the cover system, all this other stuff and everything like that, imagine doing that on an 8-bit system like a Nintendo or something like that. You wouldn't even be able to see them going in the cover and doing all these particular things because the graphical power to reveal what's actually happening isn't there. Prime example, if you look at, whether it's Contra or the very first Metal Gear on the Nintendo, even looking at games like Rad Racer, when you're racing, you're not going anywhere. It's like the level is coming to you and you're just going side to side, and when it turns, that's that. You're not going anywhere. It's not 3D. You're not seeing the world like you're looking at a Drive Club or a Forza type of game. There's no depth to the distance. There's no reality. There's no realism there. When you want to compare something like a Drive Club to a Rad Racer, that part right there represents graphical power. And the better the graphics get, the more can be seen and the more can be revealed. And because more can be seen and more can be revealed, more can be done to match the power of graphics that you can show. So the visuals and the gameplay, they go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. The second thing is the gameplay in the order there's nothing wrong with it at all. I'll walk you through it. When you're walking, it's responsive. You push down on L3, you start running. The control is very responsive. There's no problem at all. You know what I'm saying? You push circle, you go in the cover. You want to go from side to side? Cool. Push the button, go side to side. Responsive, no problems. You know what I'm saying? You want to vault over, hit X. Vault over, boom, no problems. You want to aim and shoot, the sensitivity is incredible. No problem. Headshot, you can get all of that. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to dodge and evade when there's a bomb coming at you or something like that. Hit X, move. It's responsive. There's nothing wrong with the gameplay. On top of that, there's a lot of variety in the gameplay. I'll give you an example. There's a part, the weapons. Because there's so many different variety of weapons, it allows you to play differently because of the type of weapon you got. So, for example, if you got a shotgun, and shotgun is like the deadliest weapon in this game, and it really represents that statement, you could go in close and do certain things because you got a shotgun. But if you don't got a shotgun, you got a different type of weapon, you may want to run around a bit and be more evasive and try to, pick and go instead of more run and gun because you're not as powerful because of the weapon that you have. So all of that stuff play a role in how diverse the gameplay because of the diverse of the artillery that you have to use at your advantage. You know what I'm saying? Or at your disposal. You see what I'm saying? So another thing about it is that you got the melee combat. So when you get close enough, push your button, boom, you got that action. So you can evade certain things like that by creeping up on them while they're reloading. That's another way of playing the game. So that's another variety. Then you got the quick time aspects. And the quick time aspects is deep because it's not just one set of quick time type of gameplay. So you get the experience, like when you fight in a Lycan, you could shoot them up like regular third person, and then you got the quick time event version of fighting them, and it brings more feeling, more of that motion picture. So you still controlling the game, playing the game, but getting a more personal effect so you can feel what's going on and bring the characters alive, because it's representing a more serious, tense moment as opposed to just shooting the average person that you're shooting before you get to those moments. I mean, God, do you hear what the hell I'm saying? Don't nobody break shit down the way I break shit down in this industry when I'm talking about things. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. So there's nothing wrong with the gameplay at all. Everything works. There's nothing broken. There's no frame rate dips. There's no people disappearing and textures popping in. There's none of that. You know what I'm saying? None of that at all. There's plenty of games that come out that's broken, that got patches and all this other stuff. This game come out, you don't get none of that. There's no criticism about this game being broken or messed up or whatever, and it gets a low score like that. That's crazy. But whatever your thoughts are on it, fine, that's cool. I'm just letting you know, when it comes to gameplay versus graphics, according to the order, graphics is amazing, gameplay is amazing, and they both go hand in hand. So a lot of the stuff that you see, think about it. Right now, I could go play the very first Uncharted, take the shotgun out and shoot somebody. Cool. But when you look at the order and you shoot somebody there, you feel it way more. You want to know why? Because you got a more powerful system to showcase the power. And when you see something, you feel it more when you do it. Prime example, if you play Grand Theft Auto 3, you know what I'm saying, and you run a cop over or you shoot somebody and stuff like that, it's hot, it's a fun game. But when you look at Grand Theft Auto 5 and you do it, it feels more amazing because the graphics make it more believable because of the detail. So you can take the same exact gameplay mechanics from an old game and a new game, but the graphics will make it better because you feel it more and it's more believable because the way your brain works, the way the neurology works in your mind, anything that's that visually detailed, and you doing it when you controlling it brings everything that much more on home for you. You can relate to it more because the realer it gets, the more you can relate to it. And when you play the game, you feel it more. So yes, graphics and gameplay go hand in hand. If you got great graphics and bad gameplay, it's going to be a problem. You can have great gameplay and bad graphics. It's still going to be something missing. It's not going to be the marriage that you're looking for. Because you can have great gameplay and it can feel good, but when you look at it, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It can make it's an eyesore. So they both go hand in hand, and in terms of the order, flawless.
Weird to me. Like if you're on NeoGAF and you say that's 1 out of 10, fuck you. All right, fine, you're whatever. But if you're actually a professional source and you're doing that, it does seem very much like clickbait, I guess, because it's such a sensationalistic score. Maybe it's deserved, but I have a hard time believing that, you know. But I haven't played it yet, so I should shut the fuck up till I play it. What do you think, Doge? The order review's too harsh?
I have yet to play it, so I don't know. But I've seen really funny, bad reviews, so I'm excited to play it and see if they're all true.
Because it's bad?
Yeah. Anytime a game gets like really bad reviews, I'm like, I just really want to play it. I don't know why. It's like, yes.
There you go. Internet, help us. Are we wrong? Are we right? Or don't even help us. We don't need your fucking help. Actually, we do.
Another thing that was mentioned in the video was if you play a game and you're not entertained by the game and it's not fun for you, then that 1 out of 5 that I think Digital Trends had gave the game appears to be valid according to one of the developers working at Bartlett Jones. Now my thing is, if you're not, I give you an example, and I bring you back to the Culticept Saga card game I was referring to. If I'm not into card games, listen to me clearly. If I'm not into card games, like I'll play them, I'll check them out. But if I'm not into card games, I'm probably not the proper person to review them. Now, don't get me wrong. I can review the game and do the best that I can. I'm not going to be afraid to review it. But because I'm not into those games, I'm not going to really be able to get what the developers and the vision that they made this game for. I'm not going to be able to get everything out of it if I'm not into it. Think about it. If you have if somebody tell you to go inside this house and get all the belongings that got label A on it and bring it back out. If the only way you could do that is if you go into the house, so you could be able to get everything out of it. But if you're not into that house, you're not going to even go into it. So if you're not going to go in the house, how can they expect you to get anything out of it? At least fairly. You probably go in there and skim around real quick because you really don't want to be there in the first place. So you're not going to go hard to find all the labels with A, in terms of the analogy that I'm making. It's the same thing with a game. So, for another example, a lot of people live streams that I watch, in terms of the order, there's a lot of people that love the order. Like, they just say F the review scores. They love the order. But also, there's a lot of people that like the order, but they don't really care about story. They just want to pick up the game and shoot and kill. So they'll say, oh, I wish it had multiplayer. Oh, they should have had co-op. Oh, the game is bad because it don't got multiplayer. It never intended on having multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? It never intended on being a co-op title. So how can you judge them based on something that don't exist, that was never a part of the game in the first place? But people do that. You know what I'm saying? Because they got this crazy way of thinking that multiplayer automatically gives you replay value, not realizing you could play the game as much as you want. There's no such thing as game length to me. Like, it's just not. You can play a game and you can end it in 5 hours. Okay, cool. And I can play that game over and over and over and over again. And that experience to me wound up being 75 hours. Because I love playing it that much. There's no limit to how long you could play whatever game you own. I've been playing Mario for how many years? How many hours did I log into a Mario game? Are you kidding me? There's no such thing as game length. Because the only length of the game is up to you, the user. You know what I'm saying? When you decide that you don't feel like playing a certain game no more, then, hey, that game died to you. You don't play it. That's it. Your time is up with it. But as long as you're playing the game, how many hours did you log in playing Street Fighter? You know, the story in Street Fighter ain't long. You play a few matches and you get the ending. But how long are you playing Street Fighter? Whether you're playing with somebody, online, or just by yourself against the computer. As long as you like a game, you can play it forever. So that whole game length thing is a myth to me. You know what I'm saying? And for something like that to be criticized is the most idiotic thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not about how long or how short. It's about the experience. Period. Because PT, people play that over and over and over and over and over again. And that's one of the best scary games ever. And it was just a demo. Just to bring that up. So, so I said that to say this in terms of entertaining. Fun factor, entertaining, that definitely matters. But if you're not entertained, but you was looking for this particular entertainment, like if you're into what a David Cage game is like Beyond Two Souls, if you're into those games, then Until Dawn that's coming out, you might be into that because they have a similar type of thing. If you're into David Cage games, you might like Life is Strange because there's a similarity there. You see what I'm saying? So if those are the type of games that you're into, that you really give a damn about, then those are the ones that you should be reviewing because you could properly get everything out of it so you could convey that to your audience. You know what I'm saying? For example, I don't play soccer. I'm not a FIFA player. I play the game and I could review it. I could like it. But there's going to be some things about it that I'm not going to get out of it to tell my audience. Why? Because I don't even know. I probably watched one soccer game my whole life. And that's like World Cup stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about the sport to properly talk to you about it. Basketball, that's different. Boxing is different. Feel me? So that's just my thoughts on that. Okay, so check this out. The last point that I would like to make is at the very end, of the video at Bartlett Jones, the very end of it, they was talking about one of the guys was talking about how he's excited to play the order because of all the backlash and bad reviews that was out there. He's excited to play it. Now, don't get me wrong. When you can become popular for something good or you can become popular for something bad. But when you got popularity, everybody wants to know what your next word is going to be, what your next movement is going to be. They want to know what you're thinking. They want to talk to you. They want to see you. They want to see what your thoughts are on things when you got that type of popularity. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this guy wants to play this game, just to see what all the fuss is about. That's cool. But I feel like that's one of the worst ways, that's the worst reason to want to play a game. And I'll tell you why. Because you're not going to play the game for what it is. Because you're not looking for what it is. You're just trying to see if what everybody is saying is true about the game in terms of it being bad or short or whatever. So when you play the game, you're not focusing on what the game is giving you. You're not focusing on the vision in the direction of the developers and what they're giving you. You see what I'm saying? All you're doing is like playing the game, and while you're playing the game, you think about how long it's taking. So if you think about how long it's taking, how you gonna comprehend the story and understand this? And then if you don't comprehend the story and understand what they're saying, you're gonna blame the developers saying that they didn't do a good job at the story. But the whole time you're thinking about how long the game is gonna end up being. Is the gameplay, you know, bad or good like they say? This and that. You got all that stuff polluting your mind that you can't focus on the actual task at hand. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of reviewers do this because they get a chance to play the game before it's done, and you get the build up and you do all these interviews. So that whole process, they formulating prejudging thoughts on the game before it even comes out. And then when they get the full game for review before it's released, and they playing it, they're not always playing it for what it is. They playing it based off this, like, okay, at E3 it was like this, now it's like that. Okay, that's better. Oh, they didn't change that, so they should have fixed that. It's like, that's not how you, in my opinion, that's not how you review a game. That's not even how you play a game. You play games to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Period. So you play the game, just play the damn game. And afterwards, ask yourself, how did you feel after the experience? And if you felt good about the experience and certain things stuck out to you that was amazing, talk about that, because that's what affected you more, and that's a part of the entertainment value.
There you go. Internet, help us. Are we wrong? Are we right? Or don't even help us. We don't need your fucking help. Actually, we do.